partnerships.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Secretary, salamat po talaga mula sa mga magsasaka. Siguro po ang next question ko na lang po, as much as we would really like to support your budget, no, can you just clarify this committee and maybe that will guide us in asking for more support or taking a position to have more support from you? What do you plan about taking more action or programs to increase your deterrence capabilities, including is that being supported by your proposal for 2026? And if not, how much still do you need? Because it's very important. You said our defense, territorial defense, is a priority of the armed forces. Therefore, we need to clarify more what capabilities do you intend to develop and how much of that will be supported by your 2026 and how much of that still lack the budget support from the budget that you submitted. Thank you so much, Madam Chair.
Actually, ma'am, initially, for the deterrence, it was the 133 billion that was not included in our modernization. Nonetheless, deterrence capabilities, as time goes on, we need to refine them too, because the technology to counter the deterrence capabilities that we get born every day. So if we have to talk also to the DBM and the DOF to have a standby fund ready to trigger as soon as possible so that we can capture the latest technology. Because deterrence capabilities, by the way, deterrence capabilities are also, it cannot be fixed. A fixed capability is an inviting target, and it will be a first target. So a lot of capabilities that are deterrent should be mobile and should be sheltered. Even, let me give you the state of affairs, not even in capabilities. In the Vietnam War, no matter how much B-52s bombed the North Vietnamese, everything was underground for them, and they were able to survive the environment inside the mountains, and there was a hospital, a factory, a munitions factory under. I don't think even our basic working systems are of that caliber yet. We envision strategic bases to be hardened and flexible. Nonetheless, it also is an appeal to have an honest-to-goodness connectivity and infrastructure program that can serve also the armed forces mobility. And sadly, a lot of the mobility, for example, in India is provided by the railway, which is a losing proposition in any country. Walang kumikitang riles. But there is a balance. Yung mabibigat talaga sa riles kinakarga. So we suffer with 7,000 islands of connectivity. We also need, for example, for us, for the distinct data fiber networks that we have, yung inter-island fiber optic cabling, kulang pa nga eh. Those are some of the things that we need for resilience. Yung 133 po na natanggal, sana po yun ay gagamitin sa some deterrent capabilities natin na hindi ko naman pwede ihayag. Yun nga lang, matabi lang po yun na ready po, na ready lang po sana na i-trigger, mas maganda po. Kasi itong mga to, nini-negotiate na mabilis, and then you build up. You try to catch up. So what you need are missiles, space technology, drones, and other capabilities.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Mr. Secretary. I just hope we consider the proposal of the DND to make that reserve fund in case and to increase your capacity to develop more deterrent capabilities for our defense. That will be all, Madam Chair. Sir, thank you so much for the Kibaritan issue.
The chair now recognizes from the independent, Congressman Isidro Ungab from Davao City.